The one word that easily comes to mind when I think of Jack George is authentic. Jack is the real deal.
My dad is selfless because he puts everyone's needs above his own. And he is brave because he fights for those who cannot fight for themselves.
I would say love. Jack loves our mission, and he loves the people we support.
I think the one thing that I've always tried to attribute and grow myself is to be kind to people. I think being kind to people is so very important, no matter what your station in life is.
One of the first encounters that memorable encounters that we had was with the local community here, and I won't mention it on tape, but there was a community that was blocking our entry into placing a group home there. And I remember sitting there with Jack as this city council and others were saying things about people with disabilities and deviating from what we knew to be best practice. And I watched Jack so eloquently state our cause and our case. And it made me very proud because they were beating up on me.
We had these various SILA programs, which stood for Community Integrated Living Facilities. And our goal was to make sure that we would pick certain sites in and around the city, in the suburban areas, and find a home that we could take and develop and utilize for people who could live there who had developmental disabilities, and give them the opportunity to experience on a daily basis what it is to be a part of the community. And so when we were doing that, some of the first ones we were doing in the areas, we met with certain challenges. People in some communities didn't want them and didn't want those types of homes. And they had ordinances that restricted some of those types of homes. And so it was our job to amend those types of ordinances to allow for those types of homes, and to, when we went to these hearings, explain to the people in the community what a benefit it would be for Little City to be in the community, but also for the people in the community to benefit by them being there. But when I go back and think about what accomplishments we had, I think that was probably one of the turning points and one of my big accomplishments here at Little City, was to make sure that we had these new type of homes.
Well, the first time I met Jack was obviously a legal issue. And what struck me about meeting him was his level of calmness and explaining to him a very complex, nuanced issue, thinking that there's no way he's going to understand what I'm even talking about.
When you get on a plane, you want to know that the pilot knows how to navigate every circumstance that they may encounter in the sky. We had the best darn pilot imaginable.
We are so fortunate to have such amazing counsel to represent Little City and all the people we serve.
From a young age, my dad really has emphasized that everyone has their own unique gifts, and we need to treat all of those people how they want to be treated. And that is easy to do because I can watch him interact with people, and he's able to really see what each person's gifts are.
Each one of us are unique in our own ways and given talents in our own ways. And people who have developmental challenges are also very special people. And special people need a little additional help. Over the years, it's been an absolute great challenge for me and an unbelievable reward for me to have had the chance to represent Little City and to help them move forward with their mission and their goal, which is to assist people who have challenges and make life as meaningful as possible as they go forward in their own independent lives.
This award is so meaningful for my dad because it really highlights something that he would never highlight himself, which is how much he gives back to everyone around him. He gives back to so many organizations, particularly Little City, with 50 years of working with Little City. This is an organization that we have heard about every single day of our lives.
So it goes beyond just being counsel in the corporate sense. And so it's a privilege and honor today to state some words on his behalf for the award that he is going to receive that I think pales in comparison to who he is and what he does, but nonetheless, any opportunity that I can take to say, Jack George, thank you for being the humanitarian you are.
And that love, what I've noticed with Jack specifically, is not just for Little City, but he carries that in his personal life. He carries that in all that he does, all of the extra volunteerism that he does and other organizations that he supports. I learn more and more about him and continue to be amazed about the love that he gives. And I just really just aspire to be a Jack one day.